Checking my connections, and some crazy hair. I don't know what's going on, but I don't care. Live recording. Hey everyone, how is everyone on this, what is it, May 8th today? My days are all running together. I don't know where all my time is going. The humidity is absolutely, it went from being like rainy and cold, and now we have humidity. And I said that I would never complain about our humidity after being in New Orleans last September, but the humidity is rising, and my hair this morning, I don't know what it's doing, so just ignore it. I just came on to talk about my classes. I have a few classes that are coming up May and June, and I wanted to let everybody know. I'm hoping you can hear me. I do have a microphone. I don't like the one that I got, so I will need to purchase another one. So if you cannot hear me, let me know, and I will talk a little louder. I have the fans off. Bruce is in his crate. The other dogs are taken care of. If you all could say a prayer for my Sadie girl. She will be 16 this month, and she literally is on her last days. I've been giving her a little bit of pain meds to help her get up and down the steps, but I think her days on this earth are probably numbered, and I'm trying to be very brave, and I'm trying to do the big girl thing, and it's hard. It is hard. Anybody who has a pet, anybody who really understands what unconditional love is, and you don't want to see your pet suffer. She stopped barking, I don't know, about 6, 7, 8 months ago. I haven't heard her bark ever. She's not in any pain that I'm aware of, but I can just see that she's having a real difficult time getting up and down steps and just walking around. She still does like to walk a little bit on her leash, but I feel like she's just slowing down the process. So anyway, if y'all could just say a prayer for my Sadie girl, I would greatly appreciate it. Everybody else in the household is doing really well. Been busy with my side gig, trying to plan these classes, and I have some new classes that are coming up, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the new class that I have. But before I get into the new class and everything, I think everybody knows I am Kitrynmarie. I'm an artist, a writer, speaker, life and a business coach. I reside in St. Louis, Missouri, and I like to show creative-minded women how they can take their gifts and their talents, and they can do something with that God-given innate ability that they have, that they can capitalize and commercialize and make money on. I think it's important that we step out of corporate America. I think it's important that we pay homage to craftsmen, people who work with their hands, people who use real ingenuity and have momentum and do things in their life that are bringing joy and passion and a service to somebody else. It's not about the dollar amount. Although I do say I do want horses, and I do want to rescue a horse surrender and training facility, and it probably will take almost $1 million. But it's not about the money that flows through my personal life. It's about the service of which I can provide to whomever is taking any of my classes, which are enrichment classes. Things that I allow you to be aware of so you can be bigger and better than what you were. Not that you're not good enough for who you are, because you are fine just the way our higher power, your dude, your God, whoever you want to call, has made you. But sometimes we lay dormant. We forget about our talents, we forget about our joys, we forget about our creativity, we forget about the imagination that has allowed us to have these ideas. In 2013, when my big journey started, I was trying to figure out how I was going to pick up the pieces and what I was going to do in my life that was going to make me happy. Because in 2013, I can honestly say I was at the lowest point that any probably woman could be. Trying to figure out where I was going health-wise, what I was going to do to get over the relationship that had bellied out, to try to figure out how I was going to maintain my home, maintain my sanity, maintain my child, and all my pets and anything that resided in this house, how I was going to recover. Rest, reparative, recovery, all of those words that we need to focus on in order to get us to a further platform, in order to allow us to be true to who we are. There's a lot of naysayers in this world. There are a lot of people who will tell you you can't do what you want to do. And as far as I'm concerned with that, they're not walking in your shoes, they're not feeding you, they're not sleeping with you. And even if they are, they still don't get to tell you how big your dream is. They do not get to tell you that you are not allowed to have these ideas and this creative life that you are trying to live. And what I do is I talk with many creative women who want to start a business, but they don't know how. They don't know where to go with their thoughts, with their ideas, how to even get a ball rolling. Briefly, somebody that I met through Facebook, and I won't give out names or anything, but she is talking about next year having a kind of a speaker retreat, talking about health, getting you on a good path to living a more passionate life, a healthier lifestyle. I'm all about health. And her and I have been talking back and forth, and she wants to put this retreat together. And I said, oh my God, I'm on board. And she lives in Colorado. So there's my excuse to travel to Colorado next year. But it's about implementing these little plans, the little steps, excuse me, the little steps that you need to do so you are able to implement the plan. You can't go from A and expect to get to Z within a 24, 48, 72 hour. It takes momentum in a slow inertia movement to get you to the next phase in which you were going. So when I started out in 2013, I started journaling everything that I wanted to do, all of my thoughts, all of my dreams, all of my desires, and I'm just about there. I've been the last year and a half, I have seen more progress. That's how long. It takes a very long time to build, but you have to stick with it. And anybody who is at a point right now where they're like, I just can't go anymore. I can't go anymore. You know what? You're almost there. Do not give up. Do not listen to those naysayers. Do not listen to those critics who can't fight their way out of a wet paper bag and will choose downward and lower their standard because they are not able to meet your standard or your expectation of what your life is supposed to look like. You can't live somebody else's expectation of a life. You know, if you want to go places and do things and be of a bigger, better service to somebody else, you have to do what you know you are capable of doing. And you cannot allow anybody else to take that away from you. You're doing a disservice not only to you, but to the ones that really, really want to hear what you have to say. You know, as women, we are such emotional creatures. And by being a human being, it's in our DNA to want to be coupled up with somebody. But I'll tell you what, if it's drama, crisis, and chaos that's in your life, that is not the love that you want. If you are being coerced into staying in a relationship, staying in a house that you don't want to be in, being in a relationship that is not conducive or healthy to your core, then you are doing yourself a bigger damage to your heart and your soul by allowing somebody else to make you stay in something that you're not supposed to be in. You know, you belong where you belong. You belong with who you belong. But if you continually try to force your way to stay someplace, force yourself to feel something that you don't feel, you will end up making yourself sick. You will drive yourself crazy. It will create all kinds of drama, crisis, and chaos in that relationship. We are made to couple up with somebody in our DNA, but if it is not the right reason, and if you are hiding behind somebody trying to do something when that's not what you want to do, and I show women that we are, as a whole, one big puzzle. Human beings, we are complicated individuals that have our own, idiosyncrasies, our own intricate pieces that fit. And we know exactly what we need to do, but sometimes it is easy to follow the masses, and if you drop the M, you get the asses. Instead of doing what you really want to do and staying true to your core and, going out on a limb and just trying something different. Because if you start at 0 and you do nothing, you will always have 0. But if you start at 0 and you take those little bitty steps, at some point that 0 is going to get you to 10. And these are things that I talk about when I'm teaching my business coaching, when I'm talking about my law of attraction, which I do really, really believe in. I believe that we emit this frequency and we are a bunch of transmitters and receivers. And if you are thinking about something with pure intent, I promise you it is going to show up at your doorstep. You are not going to have to go very far because opportunities are going to open, doors are going to open, and the flow of abundance is just going to happen. That's just how it all works. So I wanted to talk a little bit about these classes that I have. So everybody knows I'm a painter. Everybody knows I'm an artist. Been a working artist probably since my mid-30s, I guess. Tyler, my youngest, is 18, so I started, before him. But it was just the little bit of dabbling that I could do. My dad had bought me this paint kit years back. And he said, you need a hobby, you need something to do. And I was like, yeah, right, okay. Because when you're young, who wants to listen to their parents, right? So, I worked on this craft. I worked on realizing this talent that I had within me where I was able to move the paints. I could push the paint brushes. It's about being an illustrator and tweaking your mind to look at something from a different angle, from a different perspective, taking on different perception. You can't look at the same thing all the time. You have to turn it around. You have to look at things differently. You have to move in a 90-degree angle and, circle and see different shapes and different sizes. And when I realized that I was able to do this, I decided that I wanted to teach. I wanted to show people how simple it was just by word of mouth, by interpretation, by personal perspective. So I have this class that is coming up May 30th on a Thursday evening. Lanai Coffee House in Francis Park in our beautiful St. Louis Hills is allowing me to come and teach perspective and perception. And I'm going to have 4 different paintings where you will be able to pick and choose what you want to work on. You are to have your own supplies, you are to have your own canvas, your brushes, your own paints. You can go to Hobby Lobby, you can go to Michael's, you can go to Joann's, you can go to Blick Arts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the brushes. We're going to talk about those angles and those shadows and those shapes and how you view things in your mind. And it's going to be personal interpretation from your mind to your eye to your hand and what goes on the canvas. If you're interested in that class, it is $45, and you go over to Dabble St. Louis and you look up Kitrynmarie and you sign up through Dabble and you pay through there, and then they will notify me to let me know who is signed up for the class. If you're in the St. Louis area and you happen to go over to Lanai Coffee House, they do have brochures and they do have flyers that you can go get one. You can always send me an email at kitrynmarie@gmail.com. You can send me a direct message. Either way, if you have any questions, I'm an open book. Just go ahead and answer or ask, and I will answer and tell you exactly what you need. The canvas, I prefer you have a larger canvas, 20 by 24, 19 by however that dimension is. And just a basic set of brushes, basic set of primary acrylics. This is not oils, this is acrylic. When you were first starting out and you were wanting to learn how to paint, it's just easier to work with acrylics. And then when you master your craft and you master the technique of the brushes, then you can branch out and go into oil painting or watercolors, because it is a different type of medium. The other class that I wanted to talk about is my business coaching. My business coaching is for creative-minded women, like I said earlier, who are looking to do something else with their life. Maybe they want to sell a cosmetic line. Maybe they want to sell a coffee line. Maybe they are wanting to start their own t-shirt business. Maybe they want to do jewelry. Maybe they have pet treats. Anything that you start out in your home. Anything that you want to add as a side hustle, a side gig, and you are looking to make a little bit of money with what you know how to do. What I always start out saying is we write the plan. We get your ideas, because your mind is swirling in the gray matter, in the front part of your brain. You have these wonderful ideas. And you're like, I just don't even know where to start. I don't know where to write them down on paper. I don't know how to concisely take that idea and put it in paper. And this is where I come in. And we sit down and we talk about the ideas. And because I am a writer, I take your ideas and I put them into sentences, which then I allow you to turn them into paragraphs. And we write out the plan of how you want to get your business started. It's a take as you need business coaching. You can take one class with me. You can sign up for 5 classes. You take what you need and then you go on, and if you need something else somewhere along the line, you can come back to me. And then we talk about having a blog. We talk about taking pictures. We talk about matching images to the words that you are trying to get out to your customer, and how to build a customer base, how to have a following, how to have a community. Right now I am recording on YouTube. I have Instagram Live, and I'm on Facebook Live. You take whichever social media that you are comfortable with, the one that you know how to operate best, and you start with that. You know, we scroll. We waste more time on devices and apparatuses, as I like to call them, instead of doing something in a good way, providing some kind of service or showing some item. So just from that, I'm going to segue over to, okay, so another class that I am working on. I don't have all the details as of yet, but I am going to be teaching how to make boho wind chimes and these bird feeders. These are small things from an idea, a used, recycled item that I show women. You can take your ideas and you can make money. You commercialize what you love, because it's what you know. It's what you know how to do. And then you learn to write about it. And you don't need to be a great writer. You just need to be able to put your thoughts onto a blog. Get at your computer. And, you know, you start with an outline. Just like when you were in school and they told you you had to come up with you know, a term paper. You start with an outline. You have your idea. And then from your idea, you jot down the important parts of what that idea is, and then you put them in sentences, and then you put them in paragraphs. So I have my business coaching class that will be coming up on May 16th, which is a Thursday night. I like doing my classes on Thursday night, but I think come June I'm going to be changing them out just a little bit to possibly Monday nights and possibly Sunday days, which then leads me into my next class, my next session on June 9th, which is a Sunday, for all of my creative-minded women who are tired of their own selfies and their own photography. I am going to show you how to correctly be in the right light, how to pose with your product, how to get your message out there conveying your personality. You sign up through Dabble St. Louis again. This is a 4-hour class. We're going to be meeting at our St. Louis Art Museum in Forest Park because, one, it's a beautiful, beautiful place with lots of different angles and trees and buildings and the architect, and I'm going to show you how you can showcase your personality. And you are going to bring your phone, of course. You're going to bring a tripod. You're going to bring your own camera. And for 4 hours, we are going to talk about how you can take all of your gifts, all of your talents, all of your products, and show your customers, your followers, and all the people who want to get to know who you are through the pictures that you're taking. And then on top of that, because I have been doing photography for quite some time now, you get your own personal little mini photo shoot that you can use for your social media. I'll be taking 7 to 10 photos of you. I will edit them, and then I will get them back to you within probably a 2 to 4 week time. That class, I am looking for 7 individuals. I do have to have a minimum of 2. It is $175 for the 4-hour class, so you're getting quite a bit for those 4 hours. The painting class, like I said, is $45 through Dabble St. Louis, and then the business coaching is also $45 that you will sign up through Dabble St. Louis. I'm not looking to make $1 million off the people I teach. I'm looking to implement good ideas. I'm looking to provide a service. I'm looking for quantity with quality. I'm looking for smaller groups that I can make a bigger impact on, because I think we are finally at a time in this day and age where we can use this social media not only to scroll, to be judgy, to cyber bully, but we can use it to our advantage to show people that, you know, we have all these gifts and we have all these talents, and we are able to make money and to feel confident to build from what somebody else has tried to take away from you. So for those of you, again, who don't know who I am Kitrynmarie. I'm an artist, a writer, a speaker, a life and a business coach. I reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I would love to hear from any of you. You can go over to my website at kitryn-marie.weebly.com. You can go over to kmgraphicapparelnart.weebly.com. You can find me on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Instagram. Always leave a message, share any of my lives, my videos. It's important to me that my words mean something. It's important that the work that I'm trying to do is leaving a very, very good impact on this crazy world that we live in. You know, we do live in this trickle-down effect, and how I want to talk, I want people to perceive me in the correct light. I want my words to not only mean something to somebody else, but they can take the words and they can implement them in their own life, and then they can make a difference with somebody else. So for today here in St. Louis, I'm having a hard time talking all of a sudden. For today in St. Louis, the sun is shining. We are praying for no more rain. I swear to God, I have a family of ducks that are living in my backyard. I have enough mouths to feed in this house. Always send a message. Be happy. Be blessed. Michael Steckling, I see that you were watching. Nice to see you. I'll get back up to Wisconsin hopefully by July. Maybe we can catch up for a cup of coffee. But for the rest of you, be happy, be blessed, be thankful for all the things that happen in this lifetime. Life changes extremely quick. You know, everybody makes plans every day, and you don't know how the day is going to end up. Hug your babies, say prayers, send up blessings, and I will talk to you all real soon. Bye-bye.